very quickly, each of you, just let other early career researchers like myself, could you tell us what are the things organizations look for on a CV to hire young aspiring volcanologists, geochemists, computer scientists? What should I have on my CV? What skills should I master now that I'm in grad school if I'm to, get that dream job? Anybody could go first. Lightning round.
Okay, I'll go first. I think things would have evolved a lot over time. And I think one of the things that people are looking for from PhD students is publications. I think it's relevant to try and get 1 or 2 publications from your project before you get to the end of it or towards the end of it. I think it would be also useful to be able to do some sort of coding, because coding is quite useful at most observatories. And if you can't code, then you're probably not up to where you ought to be in terms of being able to understand or help yourself in certain situations, because quite a bit of the technology that we use, as Sara was saying, there's automated processing and that sort of stuff. And most of these are scripts that are written internally by software people that we work with, we hire. So if you can write a bit of code, I think you'll be a bit happier at times when you're having problems with some of this stuff that's not working.
Sure.
Yeah, I would really, yeah, sorry, may I just go ahead? I was just, I would like to echo Thomas. I really believe that unfortunately it starts to become an important addition. To be able to say, I can program slightly with Python, I can program with R. I'm not saying, those really programming languages, that really would make you, the most expert, high-performing computer person, but the basic skills in, even speeding up the processing of data, and I think this would be always seen as an added value. However, let me say for the specific case of Iceland, it is really, really unusual that we get a CV and we read it and we say, oh, wow, we cannot miss this person. And that's because it goes with funds, with money. So most of the time we are willing to find new people when we have money. And that's why then it goes along with projects. Most of the time we have money if we have projects. And if we have projects, then this means that a profile is already identified. Then I would guess the person that would apply for that position, of course, it needs to, present or fulfill the expertise required there. But I've been seeing through the chat some keywords like initiative and enthusiasm, and I agree. So I would guess that in most cases, at least when I was going through some interviews with people for projects here at the IMO, this also makes a difference. Even to show empathy and being capable to demonstrate that you really like what you'd be coming to do makes a difference. Sometimes people are really, really skilled, but they are not really capable to create a human link or just transmit that they are, fascinated by the idea. But even simply saying, well, I can do whatever you're asking me, I will just do my best to do it, right? And this helps. Because, and I want to add this, at least that's the experience I got here. Most of the time we are hiring person, again, mainly for projects, and they end up to do a lot of other things, because the number of things that we need to do here, it is so huge, and we are so few that eventually whoever is here will be working as much as possible and helping right in times of crisis, for example. So then I think it is also important to show that there is this willingness in just being part of the team, and reinvent yourself if needed.
So flexibility is definitely an asset. Annalisa, you wanna take a stab at it?
I can only say that my observatory is very heterogeneous. Obviously, most are geologists and geophysics, but in my group, for example, there are only 2 geologists, and then the other, we are computer scientists, engineers, mathematicians, physics. I think that if your skills include programming, can be important, but not fundamental. I think that the most important thing is the passion and enthusiasm for research.
Yes, you gotta love research. Charles?
Young researchers, as Sara said, the first, of course, is, a good background in terms of target. But what I would also recommend is to do as more as possible training and internship, because all those external skills you don't get from school, you can get them by having, a training at observatory or university, and try to understand what really working at observatory looks like, and, also have some publication in order to have a strong CV.
Just before we continue, we've been at it for just over an hour, so I know some persons may need to leave. So before they leave, I'd just like to say thank you to our panelists, Dr. Charles Balagizi, Dr. Annalisa Cappello, Dr. Sara Barsotti, and Dr. Christopher Thomas for joining us today and really sharing with our young researchers and our other generally interested persons as to what it is like to work at these different volcano observatories around the world. So the ECR-Net committee will really like to thank you all for giving us so much of your time and your experience today. So I just wanted to, express our thanks before, some people have to leave. But of course, we could continue for some time more as we continue to take questions from those who have been listening. But I just wanted to say thanks. And if any of you all need to run, we'll unfortunately have to say bye-bye. All right. So